Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for joining our webinar for the Assistive Technology Grants Program, How to Apply for a High Impact Innovative Assistive Technology Quality of Life Grant for 2017. The High Impact Innovative Assistive Technology, or HIIAT Quality of Life Grant Program, is a competitive grant program launched in 2015 to augment the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation Quality of Life Grants Program, which began in 1999 and since that time has awarded over 3,000 grants totaling $22 million. The purpose of this grants program was to build upon the network of Assistive Technology Act funded programs in each state to maximize the benefit of the efforts in each of those states. And they were meant to recognize and foster innovative programs to reach new populations or to expand services for underserved populations. The grants are one-year grants, and they award up to $75,000 per year. In 2015, the program awarded 5 grants totaling $342,485. In 2016, the program awarded 7 grants totaling $520,996. For 2017, we will be able to offer up to 5 grants of $75,000 each, totaling $375,000. The grants fund innovative one-time programs that target specific underserved populations within the broader disability community in the state and or the region and or nationally. In 2015, the HIIAT grantees were Delaware, the University of Delaware Center for Disability Studies for the Home Accessibility and Safety Modifications Program, Louisiana, the Louisiana Assistive Technology Access Network, LATAN, was funded for an assisted stander program. In Maryland, the Maryland Department of Disabilities Technology Assistance Program was funded for a portable ramp loaner program. Montana, the University of Montana Rural Institute for Inclusive Communities was funded for an adaptive cycle loaner program. And in Utah, the Utah Assistive Technology Program was funded to create the Roosevelt brand of the Utah Assistive Technology Lab. In 2016, there were 7 grants. Arizona was the Northern Arizona University Institute for Human Development, funded the Up and Go project, which is early assisted mobility assistive technology solutions for very young children. Illinois was Illinois Assistive Technology Program Temporary Ramp Project, which was residential ramps for accessibility. Kentucky Office of Vocational Rehab was funded for Ramp Up Kentucky, also a residential ramp program for accessibility. Massachusetts, the Massachusetts Rehabilitation Commission was funded for the Weight and Seating Independence Project, which is access to wheelchair accessible scales and pressure mapping technology. In New Hampshire, the University of New Hampshire Assistive Technology in New Hampshire was funded for HIIAT for Paralysis, low-cost, low-tech assistive technology solutions for all ages. In Pennsylvania, Temple University Institute on Disabilities was funded for adaptive design of Greater Philadelphia, which creates low-cost, low-tech assistive technology solutions for very young children. And in Virginia, the Virginia Assistive Technology System was funded for PACT, Portable Accessibility Kits on Demand, which was also residential ramps for accessibility. We're changing the requirements, the eligibility requirements this year, because we would like to open up the program to more agencies to try to get some new proposals in and to see what other applications we may get in. The first cycle we had 19 applications, and in the second we had 12. So we're really looking to generate some more interest in the program to see what we might be able to fund and foster. So the two types of agencies that are eligible to apply are the implementing agency in the state for the HIIAT Act funded program. And new this year, we're also accepting applications from agencies subcontracted by the State HIIAT Act funded implementing agency to conduct assistive technology Section 4 activities. For the subcontracted agencies, we are going to request that a letter from the implementing agency confirming the relationship for the subcontracted agencies to provide HIIAT Act funded services be submitted, and that your agency provides data for the Assistive Technology Annual Performance Report, APR. Non-eligible organizations for this grant, unfortunately, the grants are 1 year or one time only, so we will not be able to support grantees that were awarded in 2015 and in 2016. And also, alternative financing agencies are not eligible under this grant program. While we recognize that finances are often a major roadblock to individuals living with paralysis in attaining assistive technology to maximize independence, the HIIAT grants are not intended to solely fund financing of assistive technology. However, we do encourage collaboration with alternative financing programs, and alternative financing solutions can certainly be included as part of the proposed project strategy. New this year also, we have learned that we need to provide more documentation as far as federal audit requirements for these programs, being that they are $75,000. So these grants are funded through the Paralysis Resource Center's cooperative agreement with the United States Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Community Living. So we must perform due diligence on all of the applications to ensure compliance with the federal audit requirements. So that is basically 3 simple questions. The first one, is your agency required to file a annual single audit, yes or no? The second question, we would like you to please list your organization's federal program expenditures by the CFDA number. If there are no federal program expenditures, you can enter NA. It is a required question, so that's why we're asking if you don't have that information. If you're not required, we still need you to put NA for not applicable. And the third is something that every application will have to answer either one way or the other as applicable. So agencies that receive federal funds and are required to conduct an annual single audit, please upload a statement that documents that the audit was completed and found in good standing, or agencies that are not required to conduct an annual single audit, please upload a document that confirms that your agency does not meet the $750,000 federal funding threshold requirement to conduct an annual single audit. We're going to go into some of the definitions about the grant. Our definition of paralysis is a broad functional definition. It's neurological condition resulting in inability or difficulty moving legs and or arms, and this can be caused by spinal cord injury, stroke, traumatic brain injury, multiple sclerosis, ALS, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, transverse myelitis, and other conditions. When talking about underserved populations, we would like the proposed projects to serve individuals with paralysis and their caregivers within one or more of these traditionally underserved populations: people of color, ethnic minority, low income, limited English proficient, rural persons, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender persons, older adults with paralysis and caregivers, and families coping with newly acquired disability. Funded programs will target a specific, well-defined, underserved population within the broader disability community in the state, and we're broadening it more if your proposed project goes beyond the state to the region or even nationally. That is also something that we're interested in looking at. Funded programs will increase access to assistive technology services and equipment, increase independence and or inclusion of people within the underserved population within their communities, produced demonstrable direct impact on the people served by the project, and use a new idea, method, or device, or do something in a new way. Programs may focus on a significant expansion of an existing program or service to reach additional individuals in the target population, or proposals may be a new project or service to reach a target population that has until now gone unserved or underserved. People with disabilities is not enough. What we mean by that is that we want you to identify a specific underserved population within the larger disability community in your state. Describe why the specific population is underserved, including the estimate of the number of people within the specific population. The criteria can include age, geographic location, gender, type of disability, cultural or racial group, or other factors that prevent this population from receiving services. The broad category, people with disabilities, is not an acceptable target population for this grant. We can fund direct assistive technology services to underserved populations, including but not limited to the following examples: equipment, training, salaries, facility rental, outreach, and others. What we cannot fund are the following: food, direct grants awarded to individuals, new construction, system change activities such as attempting to change laws or policies, and indirect costs, which are also called facility and administrative costs or overhead costs. For this last one, we do have an exception. Organizations that already have in place a federally negotiated FAC or indirect cost rate agreement may include the FAC expenses at this negotiated rate. A big part of this grant program is collaboration. To maximize project efficacy, it is expected that funded agencies will partner with other organizations in the activities of the proposed project. Partners are not required to commit funds, but must demonstrate measurable commitment that will increase the probability of the success of the project. Letters of collaboration by partners must be included in the application. General letters of support may also be included. Evaluation. We have a number of documents that are available on the website to help make your application the best that it can be, and hopefully these documents will be helpful in a number of ways. The first one, we have a document called Quick Guide to Establishing Evaluation Indicators. So we're asking that you go ahead and read that before beginning your application. In the evaluation questions, we'd like you to describe the evaluation indicators you will use to measure the success of the proposed project. Indicators must be a combination of both input and output indicators and must be measurable. We would like you to describe the evaluation methods you will use, including surveys, interviews, focus groups, review of program documents as applicable, and describe who will conduct the evaluation. Evaluation technical assistance. To more effectively demonstrate the high impact of projects on individuals served for this program, grantees will be provided with customized evaluation technical assistance from Westchester Institute for Human Development, WIHD, to employ cutting-edge multimedia technologies in concert with traditional evaluation methods. Grantees will work with WIHD throughout the grant period to create individualized wiki platforms to highlight the impact of their programs using photographs and videos that are easily captured with current readily available technologies. This next slide is a screenshot of the wiki page for Montana's Wheels Across Montana project. And what we're looking at is pictures. The basis of this program is that pictures tell more than 1,000 words. So we really want the pictures to help demonstrate the impact. The wiki main page has circles that have different pictures, and the middle circle, when you click on it, it opens up another page that goes into detail about the program. And then each of the different circles has another element of the project. So if you're looking at collaboration and teamwork circle, when you click on that, it would list all of the partners involved in this program. To the bottom left, you'll see funded by Dana and Christopher Reeve Foundation, and you'll see a beautiful picture of Christopher and Dana. And when you click on that, you'll open it up and hear more about the specific funding from the Reeve Foundation. At the bottom circle, it says, how do I get my own? And when you click on that, it lists a number of resources on how you can get your own bike. And then around to the right, you'll see a picture of a young boy on an adaptive trike, and when you click on that, you open up the personal stories section, and you can get pictures and stories of a number of different individuals and families that were impacted. And then if you click up to the right-hand circle, it has WAM's Awesome Trike Inventory 4 regions. So when you click on that circle, you're able to open up information on each of the 4 regions. You can click a map on where to get the trikes, and it's an interactive system. You can also, I can't show it here, but we're trying to incorporate video and more pictures, links to articles. So it's a really impactful way to tell the story of impact in a new and exciting way. So we're excited to share more about that as we develop the wikis for each project, and it's an exciting element for the program. For the reporting requirements for this grant, there are 2 required reports. There's an interim progress report that's due no later than the end of month 7, and the final project report is due no later than 2 months after the completion of the grant, and it includes a program impact survey, and we'll be providing detailed instructions along the way. So this is the projected timeline, and I have projected here because as we all know, things happen that can alter the timelines, but we're looking to try to get things out the door sooner this cycle, so that awarded grants will have their funds in the beginning of the year and will be able to implement their programs sooner. The program was announced on the 6th, on Tuesday, or on Friday, last Friday. The online application opened on October 10th. Today, October 12th, we're having this technical assistance webinar. The application deadline is November 17th. The review period is December 4th through the 15th. And we'd like to announce the results by email by the 3rd week of December, so that we can send the checks out in the 1st week of January. The 1-year grant period for this program is January 15th, 2018 through January 14th, 2019. The interim report will be due August 16th, 2018, and the final report will be due March 15th, 2019. Okay, now we're going to go a bit into the application mechanics on how to actually get into the website. So everything is submitted online. You want to go to the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation website, which is www.christopherreeve.org. And then you'll want to click on Get Support. And then you'll click on Funding for Nonprofits. And then on that page, you want to scroll down to where you'll see Quality of Life Grant Application Process, which is in the middle. There are three boxes at that point. You'll want to click in the Quality of Life Grant Application Process box. You click on Find Out More. And then when you're on that page, you want to look to the column on the right under Related Pages, and you'll want to click on High Impact Innovative AT Grants. So the reason that we don't have more information on the website about this process being open and where to click and where to apply, this is a restricted grants program, so we're really trying to provide the information to the eligible applicants so that we can avoid getting applications from organizations that would not be eligible for this. And as far as links directly to this part of the website, we'll be sending that out so that it can be easier for you to actually get right to where you want instead of clicking through all the different parts on the website. But that's how it's navigated. So when you're on the page for High Impact Innovative Assistive Technology Grants, there's a lot of information. At the bottom, near the bottom of the page, this is where the information is that I talked about before. We have application guidelines. We have the People First Language Guide, which is developed to help people writing grants for individuals with disabilities to be respectful in that language. The quick guide for establishing evaluation indicators, the criteria for review. That is also included in the application guidelines. And we have the list of application questions. We do have some required attachments for this grant. The subcontractor agency document, if that's applicable to your agency, that's something that needs to be uploaded, as well as the federal funding compliance statement. That needs to be uploaded by all applicants, stating either yes, it is a requirement and it's been completed and in good standing, or no, it's not a requirement. We have a proposed project budget. We have a project goals chart. That's a very simple 3-column Excel document that can help you chart or plot who's doing what in the project. And it's helpful for you to stay on track and really highlight exactly what you're doing. And that's also very helpful for the reviewers so they can see at a glance what the activities of the project are. And the letters of collaboration. We have one button for each of these documents. For the letters of collaboration, we'd like you to scan all of the letters into one document and then upload that. We also have 2 buttons for optional attachments. We have a general letters of support button. Those also, we ask that you scan all of those into one document and upload into that button. We also have an upload button for vendor quotes, if that's applicable for your project and you have that information available. That can be provided as well, and you can scan those into one document and upload that. Okay, now I tried to do screenshots of what's on the computer screen of what you will see. The page is actually quite long, so I wasn't able to get all of it on there, and hopefully this will be a little bit of help for you, at least to see what it looks like, but the writing's pretty tiny on the screen. What we're looking at on the left, it's the landing page for the High Impact Innovative Assistive Technology Quality of Life Grants Program, and it begins with the timeline. You'll see where we have the invitation where you can register for the webinar, and then it lists the timeline for the program. And then on the right-hand side of the page, we're looking at that page continued, and that's where you'll see please read, and then the same list of documents that I shared in the slide before. After you see the list of the documents, you'll see a link that says applicants click here to access the application. That is where you click to start the process. And then that will take you to your login page where you'll enter your emails. So for new applicants, you're going to want to click on Create a New Account and then follow those directions to set up your account on our system. For prior applicants, you can enter the password that you created the last time that you were in the system, and if you forget your password, you can just click on Forget Your Password, and the system will allow you to go back in and retrieve your password and change it if you need to. So on the next slide, I have a screenshot of the page for the new applicants. This is where you'll complete the organizational information, you'll put in your contact information, the address, the telephone number, you'll create a password. That's something that you create. it's not generated by our system. So, but if you need help with remembering it, once you create it, you can click on that forgot password, or just let us know, and we'll help you get back in and create that. So then once that's been created, or if you're a prior applicant, you're on your account page, you'll see a sentence that says, if you have been provided with an access code, you may enter it in the box at the top of the page. So where it says enter code, you're going to want to enter uppercase H, uppercase I, 2017. And this is where the application actually begins. To the right, you will see an example of where the upload buttons are. On the next slide is a screenshot of where the completed project budget template is uploaded. Within the application, you'll also see, if you have not already downloaded that budget worksheet template, you can click right in the application, and that will bring you to that document. So you're going to want to complete that document and upload it as a requirement. And then at the bottom of that screen, you'll see where the vendor quote upload button is. You do not have to complete your application at one sitting. You can, at the bottom of the page, you'll see where it says Save Application. So you can click on that, and then you can return back to it. When you're completely finished and everything is uploaded, you'll want to click on the Submit Application button. Okay, so for today's webinar, that's what I have to present today. There's a lot of information, and I didn't want to overwhelm you. So I would like to open it up for questions, and if necessary, we can have a subsequent webinar to dive into more specifics about projects and the application instructions. There are a lot of materials. We go into a lot of detail, particularly in the project budget section. So all of that information is in the application instructions. We have the criteria for review, what each of those criteria, how it's weighted. So we could certainly go back into that at another time. But we'd like to encourage creative solutions to getting assistive technology out to underserved parts of the populations. When we first started this program, we had a notion that we were going to see a lot of real high-tech equipment and services, and what we found was every state is very different, and every state has different ways that they go about things, has different challenges, has different resources at their disposal. So when we got the applications in, we were really surprised and happy to see the wide range of programs that came in. So the program is really, it's dynamic and it's living. We want to see what's out there and fund things without a kind of a preconceived notion. So for example, in the second round, we funded 3 programs that are around ramps, and we did that because we wanted to highlight the issue, to try to learn from different solutions to addressing this problem, and so we could try to develop something that can be shared and develop best practices. So we have what we're calling a RAMP cohort, and our 3 RAMP projects are meeting by telephone. We're going to try to do 3 or 4 calls during the project period. We've already had our first call, just to have a chance to talk about the issues and challenges and success stories. So that's one example of something that we learned as the applications came in, of areas that we wanted to foster, and but we're really looking for creative solutions. In Louisiana, we had the Standers program, which provides assistive standing equipment to individuals. In Montana, as we've spoken about before, the priority issue was inclusive recreation, and so we had the adaptive bike program, which was a huge project and had tremendous impact. Every one of the projects is already impacting lives in phenomenal ways. So I'm looking forward to trying to pull together the stories so that we can demonstrate the impact of the grant and in a meaningful, impactful way. So we're really looking forward to seeing what comes in this cycle. I know there are some new things happening as far as opening up the process to include some other organizations that were restricted in the past. So if we have questions, we certainly want you to talk to us, and if we can be of any help. And also, as far as if there are issues or projects that you want to address in the state that go beyond the state, we're also interested in those as well. So I would like to go back to our operator and see, do we have any questions for the phone?
Thank you. If you'd like to signal for a question, please press *1. Once again, that's *1 to be placed in the queue. Also, as a reminder, a voice prompt on your phone line will indicate when your line is open. Please state your name before posing your question. And again, as a reminder, that's *1 to signal. We'll take our first question in the queue.
Hello, this is Melissa Goforth with Oklahoma Able Tech, and I wondered, is this PowerPoint presentation going to be available to us within that application section?
Yes, we're going to be posting the PowerPoint as well as the archived webinar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we're also going to be creating a frequently asked questions that is going to be updated as questions come in, and we're posting that as well so everyone has access to the same questions and answers.
And we have no further questions in the queue, but again, as a reminder, if you would like to signal, please press *1. We have no further questions at this.
Okay.
Oh, we have no further questions at this time.
Okay. Looking at a question from Tori Phillips about, I understand that the target is underserved populations. Can we serve all persons with disabilities as part of this program or only specifically underserved populations? The grant program is targeted to individuals living with paralysis, as we've defined already. So the project can serve other individuals, but we would really like the focus of the funding and the project to be for individuals living with paralysis and their families. And I see a question from Amy, are multi-state applications possible? I think that we would have to look at the situation and address that on a case-by-case basis. There would be one application that needed to be submitted, so we wouldn't be able to have the application be actually submitted from more than one, but there could certainly be collaboration among states. There's also a question from Amy. Are we open to having a conversation about an idea before a full application is submitted? Yes, absolutely. We would love to talk to you about that. I see a question from Tori, wondering if the applications have to be either low income, rural, LGBT, etc. No, we're actually giving those as examples. It doesn't have to be one of those specific underserved populations that are listed. And from Alma Burgess, in Utah, organizations that receive funding through the HIIAT grant program in 2015 or 2016 are not eligible to reapply for this opportunity. When will they be eligible to apply again? That's a really good question. We're thinking that traditionally for the Quality of Life Grants program, we need grantees to skip a year and a half, or basically, or 3 cycles, which is 2 years before they reapply. For the HIIAT grant program, it's such a difficult decision because the programs are so great, but we're really intending those high impact, the high level at $75,000, that to be a one-time program. So it's possible to apply through the regular Quality of Life Grants program. You may know that we're going through a lot of changes with the structure of that program, and we're opening a new cycle in 2018. So I have to determine, as far as the waiting period, projects that were awarded in 2015, my thought now is that you will be able to apply for a Quality of Life grant. We're making a lot of changes, but would be able to apply under the regular Quality of Life Grants program, but not at that same level of the $75,000. And we serve outside the USA. So included in the group of eligible applicants are United States territories. So I would say yes, we would consider applications from U.S. territories. If I caught all the questions that were typed in. And I have a question from Barbara. Are previous successful applications posted online? We don't post applications online at this time. And we really want the projects that come in and the proposals to be reflective of the needs in the state, or rather than base it on something that's already been done. That's not to say that if you, for example, have a ramp program that you wanted to put forward, if that's your priority in your state, you can certainly do that, but we would rather have applications and proposals that are original, that answers your question. From Amy, what are common mistakes that people make in their unsuccessful applications? One thing that we look at is very closely is salary, request for salary. So I would say that putting too much of the emphasis on getting funding for salaries is something that I would suggest that you avoid. We certainly understand that you need to pay people to do the work. It's just we would, if at all possible, like to get the most direct impact on the individuals being served. Another question from Tori. Does this grant cover travel expenses? Travel expenses, depending on what they're for, can be funded through this program. If you have a question that you don't have ready right now, you can certainly contact us, and we will make every effort to answer the question as well as add the questions to the document that we'll be sending to everyone. And like I said before, the webinar is being recorded and will be archived on the website. If you have colleagues or know of other people that were not able to attend, we can share that information with them as well. And I do want to thank everyone for your attention, for your patience as we've tried to pull all the materials for this program together, and for your understanding that it is a tight turnaround time. We're hoping that the questions are not so onerous, that you'll be able to tell us clearly what you want to do, and that it won't be too difficult to pull together by the deadline time. Looks like we are all finished with questions. We can wait a few more minutes and see if anyone has any other questions. And like I said before, the application instructions are very detailed. So if we haven't answered something in the instructions, please let us know, and we'll be happy to get back with you about that. One thing that I didn't mention before that I wanted to tell you too, for this program, the maximum funding amount is $75,000, and we really encourage you to go for that full funding. This isn't a situation where we want you to break down everything and we'll pull pieces out that we want to fund. We really want to fund requests in full. And also, if anyone out there is feeling that they're just not prepared and they need more assistance, perhaps delving in more to the application questions or the budget form, let me know, and we will certainly consider doing another technical assistance webinar very soon. So just let me know if that's something that you think would be helpful, and we'll get that going. I'm not seeing more questions. I'm seeing lots of you saying thank you, and I just want to say you're most welcome. Thank you all for your kind attention, for your interest in this program, for all of your hard work, for serving our community. It's deeply appreciated. We're very excited about providing this opportunity and grateful to all of you.